are back doing.
Yes, we are. And of course, the conversation has shifted. It's more, it's like
Fridays, it's fun Fridays.
Yeah,
yes.
and so of course, it's everything agri that's this weekend. 2 days, everybody always look out for it. And we are joined today by two representatives from DFC. We have Shannelle Reneau, she is the Chief Lending Officer, and Hipolito Bautista, Senior Marketing Officer. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having us this morning.
So DFC at Agri, right? I like as a financial institution, but one when go to the Agri.
We are always at Agri.
Okay.
Again, we are a government bank at the end of the day, and we support equally the Ministry of Agriculture and all the efforts of Agri. So we're always there religiously supporting. We always equally help to sponsor the Agri show. So we are a platinum sponsor this year. That actually our sponsorship goes to give the awards for the farmers of the year.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice.
So we do that.
Wonderful.
But we're there equally. I mean, people come from all over Belize to Agric. And so it's a golden opportunity for us to be there. And if any person has interest in financing, we were discussing earlier, education financing, home financing, business financing, large or small, we are there readily available to provide information on that. In addition to, we always try to do a little treat here and there. We have a little promotion going on, right? We're giving away $1,000.
Okay, I need $1,000.
Get in it to win it. And so you just pretty much have to visit our booth and you get a raffle ticket to enter that raffle. And when we even have a little online promotion going on right now for that.
Hipolito, you started off by saying that, the DFC has been working with different sectors, and I think the agricultural sector, they do need support so that they can,
small farmers.
Small farmers. And so let's talk about that, because some of your same clientele will be out there, right, at the Agri.
Yes, certainly so. So again, we are productive sector based. Over 65% of DFC's portfolio is for productive sector. That is, when we say productive sector, we tend to think agriculture. We're big in agriculture, livestock, commercial fishing, etc. But that also expands to manufacturing. That also expands to professional services, tourism sector, etc. So productive sector encompasses all of that. But definitely, clients will be out there. People who are not our clients are going to be out there, but they're in the they might have a existing business that they need financing for. They want to expand or whatever it may be. We will be there to provide that information. This year, though, just to switch gears a little bit from Agric, is a big year for DFC. This is our 60th anniversary.
Ooh, wow,
right?
60
big year
years.
for us. So just to touch on one or two things about that before I pass it over to my heifer. We are going to be planning up, for example, as we did for our 55th year anniversary at the IT vet, where we had a big business expo. We're planning another business expo, let's say in July. And that preempts plans which are still in the pipeline for us for events we're going to be undertaking in September. Our anniversary is September 27th. So big year for DFC, 60th anniversary.
Wonderful.
So Shannelle, people will be coming to you guys' booth. What it is that they need to know? Or will they be able to get, let's start the process of getting loans with DFC there?
I won't say start the process, but we can gather the information necessary that we then go back and contact these individuals throughout any branch that we need, because DFC has branches in every district. So the intention is for us to show our visibility at the agriculture show, but at the same time for people to know that we're there and this is what DFC has to offer. Come, we're going to give you the information that you need. We're also going to have a keen eye for small, medium enterprise, SMEs. DFC has a very important product, which is the Empowered Business Loan that is geared particularly towards women and youth. And I believe that the agriculture show as a national show will have entrepreneurs, particularly from all areas of the country. And we will be out there on the ground looking to see these individuals, meeting them, and basically going back to them later on to say, what can DFC do for you? A lot of people, I believe, do not know fully all the work that we've been doing as a corporation, and the intention is to ensure that people are aware of what they can do at DFC at affordable rates and in terms of flexible repayment, because that's one of the advantages that DFC has. A number of our clientele are easily able to benefit from this, but if the information is not there. So Agric Show is to basically give people the necessary information, take their information at the same time, and we go back to them. Schedule a better time to meet with these business organizations if needs be, and individuals who have their own particular need. Just by doing the promotion and having people share and also indicate to us what would be their need. A number of people are saying, you know what, I'm interested, but that's good. And so DFC on our end will follow up on those interests. All right?
You did say, and I know that we're talking about the information, what you can get is like a help desk almost. But you did say promos, and you did say $1,000.
Yes.
So we never forget.
I do not forget
So
that, no.
what are these promos about, and how I could get $1,000?
Yes.
Well, promotion, again, like I said, it's just for persons to visit the DFC's booth. Right now, we have a promotion going online.
Okay.
And its purpose, well, is to get the word out about DFC, that we are going to be there. And we partner with Yuhan, this, online influencer, Belize,
Yuhan,
the online
Belize.
personality, to help us to get the word out. And it's been going great. But that is an online promotion for persons who like and share, etc. They automatically enter to win $250.
I'm making that
And
2,000.
a Freudian slip. Yes, but yeah, so that's going to be drawn on Saturday. And then on Saturday itself, we're going to be drawing $1,000. So that's going to be in packets of $250, right?
Okay.
So morning $250 when love arrives at our booth and we're promoting, etc. In the afternoon another $250. So Saturday $500 and Sunday $500. If you win, just by visiting.
He lied to you, know.
Yeah.
Right? I just
I mean, think
guys,
that like
$1,000
$1,000 straight.
Yeah, exactly.
And
effective
that is
marketer.
why they
That's
work
what-
at
You
DFC.
Benefit. Giving 1,000 might not have the impact as giving 250.
If you win the 250, you still get the opportunity because your name goes back in the box, and if you're the lucky fellow,
So we are
there
winning.
you go.
We are winning back to back.
We went back to back. Let's
Just
hope
for luck.
500, 500. Yes, I believe that. But so what they just need to do, come to the booth.
Booth, yeah.
Come to the booth, visit us. They'll be engaging with us with whatever interest they have, and we enter them into the raffle. And,
Nice.
and it's easy as that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
When we're having other information that you have at DFC, and I know that Dwayne asked about, I guess, getting the process started per se. What happens if your client, let's say, comes from PG at the Agric Show? And I know you say you have offices all over the country, but they got started at the Agric, or they sent their names to Agric. Is it that you will give their names to the office in PG? What works
Yes,
there?
we will ensure that all names collected are shared within the respective. So we will have them fill out their name, their personal information, and exactly where they're from, so that we have a Dangriga branch, but we also have an office that is shared at the Social Security Building in Punta Gorda. So basically, they're able to go there and get the services that they need. We will set up appointments so that it is easily done and seamless for our clientele. Right? But what is also important at this time for us to share is the fact that the DFC is currently in the process of applying for GCF accreditation.
Yes.
And what is GCF accreditation? It refers to the Green Climate Fund accreditation, and that is very, very important for Belize. DFC will be the first financial institution in Belize to benefit from something like this when we're approved. We have right now, I believe, 2 accredited entities, the PAC as well as the 5Cs, Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, that actually is already accredited, and we are well on the way. The process for GCF is quite rigid, it's quite robust, and we have ensured that our policies and are in place to ensure that when the time comes, we can benefit from it. GCF is a global fund for green climate change or resilience funding that allows for the developing countries to benefit. Developing countries support this fund, it's about $12 billion, right? And as an accredited entity, we will then be able to access funding from that fund to help Belize to combat the impact of climate change and at the same look at the reduction for greenhouse gases and emission. And what is important with GCF funding is that it comes with a gender mainstreaming or a gender equality component with it. And that is also key to ensure that the beneficiaries of this of these funding is we are ensuring that we're doing it with a gender and an indigenous component or consideration. So for example, when we look at down south and the projects that we'll be looking at and funding, that we will have to collaborate with key stakeholders in this area to ensure that the project is approved or knowledgeable and aware among all of them. Right now we are partnering with SIF and the World Bank to do a climate resilience adaptation project, sustainable adaptation project that will come on stream within the next month or so. What will who will that benefit? Particularly agriculture or the productive sector, which speaks about food security for Belize, and ensuring that across the various districts that farmers are able to access the funding from it, which comes with a grant and a financial component. So for example, if you access 50,000, you might not need to pay back 50, but you might pay 25. But the impact of that is wider for Belize. In addition to that, there is also the project that is being done at the 5 Cs that we're going to be partnering with, which is equally important. It speaks about agriculture, building adaptive capacity as it pertains to climate resiliency for sugarcane farmers. Currently this week, there is ongoing consultation basically with all the sugarcane farmers in Belize for this project, for them to understand the importance of it and the role that they will play and how it would impact us. As we are aware, when it comes to climate change impacts everyone, and it's a very expensive venture. That is where GCF allows us here in Belize to basically benefit and not be left behind. So DFC, by large, and as the state-owned bank in Belize, is preparing itself to ensure that we're ready and we can benefit from this global fund to ensure that the projects that we are looking at directly impact Belize, because at DFC, as you are aware, like he rightfully said, we're looking at our 60th, so we want to continue to change communities. We want to continue to impact lives.
Can I interject? I mean, first of all, kudos for this initiative, but I guess in my own ignorance, I always assumed that the GCF was for climate institutions or environmental institutions. Why did DFC feel the need to tap into this grant?
Okay, from a national strategy, climate resilience is very important for us here in Belize, especially with the weather patterns that we're having, which is very unpredictable, and especially as it pertains to ensuring that we are combating the impact that it's having, because we see the impact every year from a year-to-year basis, be it on the farmers or on the development projects that we look at. DFC is basically aligning its strategies that we have, and two of our main strategies is to maintain climate resilience and maintain gender streaming. And that allows us, and doing applying for accreditation with the GCF allows us to achieve this. And it gives us access to affordable financing so that we can then on-lend at a cheaper rate to the Belizean public, so that the public at large or the organizations or institutions can benefit. And we don't have we were speaking about loans earlier, but you don't have this big amount of money over your head that you cannot pay for, and it's too expensive, because we want to ensure that the overall benefit which is necessary, which is climate change, is achieved. So for that, and I'm sorry to interject, but what I need to say is that why DFC is important is because GCF needs, while it has other entities that it would accredit, it needs a financial institution to actually execute it. Because if you notice, these projects that I recently mentioned, they're partnering with DFC because we're going to be the executing body. So it's only natural that DFC, as a financial institution who have branches in every district and have the wherewithal to actually be able to manage a fund like that, because it requires monitoring. It requires reporting. So it's not just getting these monies in the country, but at the same time, you need to ensure that you're using it for what you're supposed to use it for. So there are strict requirements, but at the same time, that it's properly monitored, it's properly reported upon, and that's where we come in.
I have to say, and I guess it kind of, like I had like a light bulb moment where anything that you're doing right now, if you're building a house, if you're starting a new job, if you are hoping to perhaps take land and so on, all of those different entities require that you are prepared for disaster risk management and climate change.
Exactly.
And you have to be able to have that into account. Wherever you build your house, is your land close enough to a sea state that is eroded, you know, all of these things. Is your job sustainable to the environment and so on. So I just to make the connection. But yes, fully and equally important.
You know, I've had the opportunity to speak with different entities who work along with GCF, and I agree with you, Ms. Shannelle. It is a rigid process. They will only accredit organizations that have everything in order, because they're not going to just. And so the fact that DFC is on that road to getting accreditation for GCF is huge, specifically as the reach because of the reach that you guys have, and you spoke to that. There are a lot of people who, or at least when it comes to climate change, it is indiscriminatory. So it does not matter who you are, you're going to be affected, whether you're an adult, whether you're a kid, you know, women, and so there is this social protection aspect. When it comes to climate resilience and all of that. And so the government, I know, is trying to see how they can put that in place, like this wraparound service for everybody. And DFC
that's where DFC comes in.
Key there.
And you said something very key. It doesn't discriminate. But what is important, though, to note is that the GCF comes with a grievance redress in it component built in. What does it mean? It means that the projects that we do requires collaboration. It means that the project that we do has to have some level of accountability. And the communities that are impacted, if it is of a negative impact, they have that opportunity to write in and lodge their concern that has to be dealt with, has to be actually responded to. So I think that part is very, very important for people to know, that it's just not us coming and doing climate change projects that impact our communities and our lives and not having some type of repercussions if it is something of a negative impact. All right?
We know I make people get it like that, but they're like, I want to build my house. Can I get some money from GCF for this? No, you can't.
No, you can't.
But it's information that will be available at the booth that people can find out more about, right?
Yeah, and as what we're planning to do is, as we move further along in the process, we will be back. We will be on our marketing efforts will be fully geared towards explaining what it is, so people know what projects might be qualified for that, what exactly fits what we're speaking about. But today, let's go back. It's all about agri.
So where is the booth?
Because I know our CEO would want this to be stated. At the end of the day, breaking it down to rice and beans or so, accessing financing, GCF, because it will be more affordable for the projects, even maybe more affordable than, or possibly as affordable as our 6% for our sustainable energy or renewable energy financing that we currently have.
Yes.
But that's the end goal in terms of making this financing possible for that. And as she said, gender mainstreaming, as well as, or gender equity, as well as the sustainability component. No? So
60 years of DFC, and more information will be at the Agriculture and Trade Show this weekend. The opening ceremony is today at 2, and our host, Paul Lopez, is going to be there with you all this afternoon. But before we leave, one more time for our viewers, where is the booth going to be, and how can they access the, yeah.
Okay, so at the AgRic, we will be in full swing. We will have our staff engaging with visitors at the entrance gate. We have a map there that shows or illustrates where you will get to the booth. One thing that popped into mind equally when you had mentioned that persons, when they visit the booth and they start the process, as Shannelle had said, we take down their information or so. For those persons who start the process at the booth, they will be entered, they'll get a coupon valid for 3 months. So if they follow through with a loan from DFC, be it for education or whatever it may be, they will get 25% off of the loan processing, loan preparation fees, no? So that is an added promotion that we have there for people who actually visit and say, hey, this is my contact information, get in touch with me, and they see the application through to actual approval, they will get a discount there as well, right?
Plus $1,000.
Plus $1,000. Well,
at $250.
Wow. But your booth is going to be set up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sunday,
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes,
you
we'll be
can't
there.
miss it. One of the days when you enter AgRic,
Quite
you will
visible.
quite visible with the
500 per
green.
Saturday and
500
500
per Sunday, and then you know
Do
you
us
could,
justice to it.
The truth.
fine. You
Okay,
could
what,
win
$1,000?
$1,000. Shannelle, Mr. Hipolito, thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
coming in. With that, we're going to take the break, and don't go anywhere because we have more AgRic with Digi.
Yeah.
It's going to be joining us. We'll be right back. Stay with us.